Hey guys, it's Misty with Little Luxuries. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel as I'm doing tons of content that will help you with your DIY home products. I also have an Etsy shop, so if you want something already made that can make your home beautiful, then you can certainly check out my Etsy shop. Today, I am working on the bow that is going with our Starlit Silver Kit that I'm doing with TMI Gifts. So I will link the kit in this video below, but I wanted to go ahead and make the bow that I'll be attaching tonight as I design live. But I wanted to go ahead and do this and show you how I'm going to be creating this bow. I am going to be using a bow dabra. Bow dabras have been around for many, many years. There are several other bow makers. There's easy bow makers that you can use. You can hand tie a bow. Whatever works best in your hands, please do it. But for demonstration purposes, I am going to be using the bow dabra, and I'm going to show you how I am going to make this. I start out with a zip tie. Now, of course, bow dabra does offer the it kind of looks like a gold metallic wire that you can use, but I have found using a zip tie for my bows works better. It just secures them better, so I personally prefer to do that. And I put that right in the place where the bow dabra wire would normally go. All right. I have 3 ribbons that I'm using from TMI Gifts that goes perfectly with this Starlit Silver Kit. I will show those to you right now. I've got this 1.5 inch. I absolutely love this. It's beautiful. You can see the sparkle on this ribbon. So this is one of the ribbons that we're using. We also have this 2.5 inch. The camera is not really going to do this justice, but you can see that these snowflakes sparkle really well. The black in this ribbon is velvet, so it just plays so well off of that, but this is one of the ribbons. And then finally, we're going to go in with this 7/8 metallic, really, really pretty ribbon. And just think, guys, with the kits, you always have leftover ribbons that you can use on other projects, or that you could also decide to use to tie a lantern bow, a small Christmas tree bow, whatever you want to do with that leftover ribbon. There's always that you can do that with. I am going to start by going in with my 2.5 inch ribbon. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this so that I have a nice straight edge. Okay. I am going to make my tails approximately, and I didn't turn my cutting mat around, but that is okay. I'll come up here and measure. And I'm going to make them approximately 12 inches. Approximately. All right. I'm going to put my tails into the bow dabra. This is not directional ribbon, so it really doesn't matter as far as that goes. You know, if you have the directional ribbon, you have to be really aware of how you're going to do your bows so that your things are sitting the right way. You don't want to have upside down nutcrackers or upside down gingerbread. So if you were using directional ribbon, you would want to be aware of that. But we don't have to worry about that with this particular bow, because the ribbons that we are using are not one directional. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the first tail in. And for this particular bow, I'm going to go in now with our 1.5 silver. And I am going to make another tail. And I'm just going to follow exactly where it is with the tail that I have already placed down, which is approximately 12 inches. Now, guys, I tell you the measurements for teaching purposes. If you are one that measures with your heart, that is totally fine, guys. You do not have to have exact measurements as a designer, but I do it just for teaching purposes. And for those that are starting out, sometimes it's really nice to have the measurements just to kind of go by. Kind of like the first time you do a recipe, right, for a cake or something, you kind of follow that recipe to a key. And then as you get more experience, if you liked it and you keep making that recipe, then you might change it up a little bit. Same with this. All right, I'm going in now with the 7/8 metallic, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to do another tail with that. That's approximately 12 inches in length. So literally right now what I have are just the 3 tails on this side and the 3 tails on this side. And that's how I'm going to do this particular bow for this wreath. Okay. Then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to pick up my 2.5 inch. Now what I want to do with this is I'm going to make 4 loops with this, 2 on each side. And they are going to measure approximately 6 inches. So we're going to do 6-inch loops with this. Now, if you want to be precise, my cutting mat right now is turned away from me. This little ruler right here when you're using a Bodabra can be helpful. If you just kind of want to hold it up and see if you're at 6 inches, when you're starting out, that'll be really helpful. There again, you don't have to do that, guys. You can measure with your heart, as I say. But if you're just learning and you're like, no, I really want these measurements to be precise because I'm not really sure, or your skills just aren't there yet to know, that's totally fine. You can certainly do that. And then what I do is take the wand or the Bodabra, once I have those first 2 loops, and I turn this up to see if it's about where I need it to be. You want this to be even on both sides, pretty close. And then this right here will allow you to continue your loops and have them be the same size. I do a simple twist, put this right back down into the Bodabra, and then I'm going to do another loop on this side, which is 6 inches approximately. And then again, I'm going to go right to the other side, twist, put it down into the Bodabra, and you see on each side, I'm kind of making sure that these loops are the same size on each side of the Bodabra. If you had an easy bow maker, you could do the very same thing using the easy bow maker. Obviously, if you're hand-tying bows, you know, if you just check those loops with your fingers, same principle. Now with this, I like that. I've got 2 loops on each side. I put the wand back down and I'm just going to trim my ribbon. I like to go ahead and just kind of fluff out these loops the way that they're going to sit. So we kind of have it like this. All right, and that's the start of our bow right there. Then I'm going to come in with this 1.5 inch. This silver just sparkles, guys. And I'm going to go right into the Bodabra. Once again, I've already got those first set of loops established. And I want this set of loops to come in just a bit. So it's going to be approximately, if you're measuring, 5.5 inches on this second loop. For the second ribbon, you twist, put it right back down. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. And then there again, if you want to check, put your wand in your Bodabra and just hold these up. And you want this to be where those loops right there are the same. And what that does is ensure that you've got 5.5 inch loop here and a 5.5 inch loop here. And it makes sure those look really pretty and balanced. All right, twist right back down into the Bodabra. I'm going to do another loop here. I'm going to twist, go down into the Bodabra. I have checked to make sure that my loops are the same here. And then I'm going to do one more loop on this side. Perfect. Put my wand in. Go ahead and trim this ribbon. All right. And then once again, I'm going to go in, fluff out the tail loop. Fluff out the loops right here so that now this is what this bow is looking like. You can go ahead and start to see its shape right in the Bodabra. And then our final ribbon, I'm going to come in right here with this 7/8 ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and put it down into the Bodabra. This one I'm going to make just a little bit shorter than the other. So now we're at approximately 5-inch loops on this. Twist back down into the Bodabra. Come to the other side. Doing the same thing. Once again, you can put your wand in if you're using this. Just make sure your loops are even. That looks good. We're going to go ahead and twist. Once again, right here on this side, come over with this. Make sure it's matching up with that loop. Twist. And guess what? come back over to this side. Now this is where I like to add what I call a center loop, a little loop, and this is how I do the trick of hiding my chenille stems when I'm attaching this, or hiding my zip tie in that middle loop. You simply twist, and then you come and make a small loop right here in the Bodabra, enough that you can get about 2 fingers in. Okay, you see that? Then you put your wand down, and you can see, guys, that loop is just sitting right here. Okay, you're going to come over, trim this ribbon just like that. Then you use the wand to squish these bow ribbons down. Pick this up. With your thumb in the middle of the Bodabra, you simply come around, and guess what? Zip tie. Make this as tight as you can, friends. Pull, pull, pull. Take it out of the Bodabra. Give it another snug pull, and then use your nippers. Clip this. And then fluff, fluff, fluff. Now, I tell everybody the secret to beautiful bows and what makes a bow have that wow factor is when you will actually take the time to fluff these. This actually, when you take the time to fluff your bows, it brings them to life, all right? So take the time to do this step. Also, if you are selling products on your website or on Etsy shop, educate your customers and let them know that they need to fluff their bows. Put it in their thank you note, or if you're writing on the box, friendly reminder, remember to fluff your bows. It really does make all of the difference with what your bow looks like. All right, I'm going to continue to fluff this out, and I'll turn this around and let you see what we've created. Now tonight, you can see how simple that was, guys. Tonight, I'm going to be taking this bow. I'm going to combine it with the other products from the Starlit Silver Kit with TMI Gifts, which I will link below this video. So make sure, if you're interested, even if you don't want the kit, if you just want some of the supplies, let's say that you like the greenery that I'm going to be using, or you like just the ribbons, you can certainly do that. If you're buying the kit, friends, make sure that you check out separately, and you can use my code MISTY, MISTY20 for 20% off your order. But if you order the kit separately, you'll have free shipping. So you're going to get 20% off your kit or any of my kits with TMI Gifts if you will check them out separately. Now, if you just want individual supplies, use that code MISTY20 and you can get 20% off of the supplies as well if you're just looking for a particular ribbon or something like that. So that was easy peasy. Tonight I'm going to be going live and making a beautiful grapevine using this bow that I just showed you. Catch me there if you get a chance. It is tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chances are, though, you are going to be watching a replay if you do see that, which is fine. And of course, I'm going to be putting all of this on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you like and subscribe, and have a wonderful evening.